Well, hello boys and girls. People call me Tatti, and I play in EU West servers. This is my guide about Shaco. I'm gonna start with basic stuff, such as runes, masteries, jungling routes and laning, and later on I'm gonna show you how to counter jungle and some cool tricks too. Shaco is a squishy melee assassin with an ability to control people's way of thinking. He has very effective escape mechanisms, which makes him very fun to play. Just to remind you, Shaco is not viable in current metagame, since squishy melees are not a good idea. Jumping in the middle of enemy team as a squishy is not what you want. That's why Shaco is not played that way. He is a backdoor and solo champion, trapping people in their jungle or finishing low HP champs after team fight. Okay, so let's get started. And this is my rune page. I use armor penetration reds and armor yellows. Of course, if you're not jungling, you pick something else, like helper level, for instance. For blues, I use flat mana regen. These are totally optional. Some people like to use flat ability cooldowns, but since Shaco has huge mana problems at the start, I choose to pick these. For quintessences, I use flat attack damage to speed up my jungling and make my ganks more effective. You could also pick armor penetration or health. It's up to your own preference. This is my mastery page. When doing your own, just remember to pick improved smite, armor and magic penetration masteries, improved damage to minions, and if you use ghost, improved ghost of course. Most of the Shacos use Ghost, but I personally prefer Ignite to secure the kills when I'm ganking. You should also pick improved experience and put 1 point in improved buff durations in the utility tree. One word for the magic penetration mastery. Over half of your abilities deal magic damage, so you are gonna need it. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the jungling route. You're gonna start with 1 cloth armor and 5 health potions. Do this as fast as you can, because you have to place 5 jack in the boxes before the creeps spawn. At this point, you should ask your supporter to place 1 ward to your blue buff. If the enemy team tries to steal your blue, then pop your ghost if you have that summon spell, and go smite it. Now, why I did this jungle part in the guide is because Riot changes the way that the boxes work after DreamHack tournament. Now, instead of popping when they are enough close to neutral creeps, they pop after you have started attacking them. This makes things a bit different. The basic idea is still to place 2 boxes at the golems and 3 boxes to the red buff. You can see the placing over here, and soon you will be able to see why did I place the boxes there. This is just a custom game, but at this point your teammates should be scouting the area on top of you, the brush at your right side, and someone possibly sitting at your blue. After you have placed your third box, you should run straight to the golems. Hit the left creep and run further from the creep than the boxes are, so that the boxes will thank the creeps. Place a 4th box at the red and go smite the big wraith. Now wait for your jack in the box cooldown to hit 2 or 3 seconds and aggro the red buff. After the fear goes off, place your box to minimize the damage you will get. At this point, when you hit level 3, you have to decide whether you go gank or not. If you are, remember to pick Deceive. But remember also that you don't have the blue buff yet, so you are only able to use few abilities. I'd say go only if some lane really needs it. If you decide not to go gank, pick boxes rank 2 and head to the wolves. Place the box in front of the wolves to make it tank them. Same thing here. Place the box closer to the creep than you are, so it will tank it. Smite the blue one and you're done. You have 3 health potions left and you are free to gank with both buffs. This is a bad example of a gank, since it's a bot, but the idea is there. You run up to them if they have pushed the lane too much, or you deceive. Then you hit them with the slow and try to place a box on their route to get the fear. Usually people tend to pop flash for your first gank, so remember to gank the same lane at least 2 times. Well, that's about it, so let's move to the Shaco laning. As a lane Shaco, I usually start with the Doran's Blade. One thing that lane Shacos usually do is that they place 6 boxes to the spawn of the buff creep and insta-kill it. The buff gives you advantage in the lane and insta-ding to level 2. Of course, if you have a jungler in your team, you have to ask for his permission. In this clip, you can see how easy it is to push enemy champions back to the base with the buff. This is how you should place your boxes in order to avoid turret from taking damage if your lane is being heavily pushed. Now watch this. This is a perfect example how you should gank people by jumping to them and placing the box behind them. Our Carthus helps us to score the another kill, but unfortunately my clone is not fast enough to catch Pantheon. In this clip you will notice why placing boxes in every brush is useful. First of all, it gives you vision, and by doing that makes enemy junglers ganking harder. And it works as a fear, of course. Remember to place 1 box to the dragon if you are laying at the bottom. Now my team is trying to kill dragon, but I notice enemy team approaching. I have box already in the brush on top of me, but I place a box through the wall to prevent the enemy team from stealing the dragon. Notice how the box sphere interrupts Misfortune's ultimate. I then jump to chase them and succeed to initiate the fight. They score 2 kills. See how Natalie comes to place a trap, and I score an easy kill. Shaco has a very strong capability to assassinate low HP gems. Even though Shaco laning would be fun, to be honest I still think Shaco is much stronger jungler and should not be played in lane. Be sure to check out part 2 with more complex stuff such as tricks and counter jungling.